How you doing, Warren? I'm good. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate the time. Also want to just say congratulations on XMen 97. I loved the first three episodes.
Awesome.
I have to know, how did you make me feel like it's 30 plus years ago? It's a Saturday morning. I'm watching X-Men animated series, at home. Yeah. How did you capture that nostalgic feeling without making it feel cheesy or forced?
Oh man. So one, luckily the goal for that was well determined long before I was brought on board.
Okay.
That's been in the mission statement in the story Bible, drafted by Bo DeMayo, in tandem with working with Dana Vasquez Eberhardt and Brad Winderbaum and Marvel Studios. That was the goal from
Ah,
that was the goal. So my job was to come in and figure out how to visually make that work. Like all that's written, everything that's there, that's our blueprint, that's our foundation. How do we transfer that to screen? How do we translate this feeling that I'm reading visually? And that's what my fun, wonderful task is.
well,
How does that all come together? And working in tandem with our in-house team. I got to give a shout out to Jeremy, Ashleen, and Anthony, our animation lead, our in-house animation lead, in-house comp team, and in-house art direction and production team. We all worked really closely together and just did a lot of 90s science, right? To figure out like what gives the vibe, right? Because
right.
at least something that I worked with my directors, and at least for storyboards, how we shoot stuff, right? And shout out to Chase Conley and Emi Yanimura for helping direct our wonderful storyboard artists. But it came down to look at between 96 and 98. What were the films of the time? What were the shooting
Okay.
time? What were the lenses that they were using? What was cinematic at the time? What was considered groundbreaking? What was being done in anime? What was at the time? What was being done in TV animation at the time? What was being done in TV? Taking all of that information and going, okay, what are the commonalities? What about every one of these that goes, oh, I know this is in the 90s. I know this is dated for a certain reason.
Right, right,
Finding
right.
that for you, and making that the secret sauce for us. Even down to the chromatic aberration that we sort of like subtly put on the corners of the edges of the screen, or we have a
Right.
we
Yeah.
have a frame jutter. There's like, if you watch the show, the frames sort of just judder a little bit, like an old
Right.
VHS or celluloid transfer. That's hand done.
Oh,
You know,
really?
yeah,
Wow.
that's I got to give a shout out to Nas, one of our in-house animators. He developed his own for his own shorts and his own animated projects,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was amazing. And he was gracious enough to help our team and comp and art direction to make a customized one for X-Men 97. We have our own
Interesting.
aged filter, so
Wow.
it's not like it's not necessarily a plug and play. It's
Sure.
a lot of R&D. But so to answer the visual aspect of it, that's one way how we do it.
Big
There's a
group effort.
big group effort. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, all that R&D, the research, a lot has happened since the original X-Men animated series. We've got, live action X-Men all throughout the Fox franchise. The MCU was established. We have Marvel Netflix shows. Did any of those influence X-Men 97?
Again, that's also a great question too. I love answering that because my favorite thing to point out is, or remind people is, OG X-Men was the MCU before the MCU became the, right? That,
Yeah.
that that was our introduction to a lot of these characters, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So to that point, we have our own sandbox we get to play in. You know, the live action and what Marvel and team are doing over there. That it's great. They have their team, they have their stuff. We have our own sandbox to play in, and so
Sure.
you would think there's a lot of pressure. Like, oh, can you do what MCU is doing? It's like we got 30 years of stuff to go off, man. We're fine. It's like, and obviously it worked because there's such a love
Oh,
and
yeah.
a genuine appreciation for this IP, for the show, and hopefully X-Men 97 coming after it.
Oh, absolutely. I personally loved it. I really, really, really can't wait until I see the rest of the series and then season two. I think you did a fantastic job. Just want to say thank you once again for the series and for your time today, Jake.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed it. And on behalf of the team, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.